Hello, welcome to Isasnora Snores by Carol L. Power, published by Black Rose Writing. Here, we take snippets from the book and bring them to life. The last time, we met Isasnora's unpleasant cousins at her birthday party. They demanded to be taken to the Black Cave, where a supposed dragon was living. Isasnora didn't want to go, but she wanted to prove that she was brave so her cousins would like her. When they arrived, it seemed as if the cave was empty, until they walked away. Then there were blazing yellow eyes, the size of saucers, glaring out from the darkness. Let's see what new adventures await Isasnora. Isasnora's parents had to travel to the Kingdom Kaland to go to the market. They warned Isasnora to stay in the cottage. When they left, Isasnora looked about the house and grew very, very bored. A few minutes outside should not matter, she thought to herself. She opened the door and stepped out. She took a step, then another. Before she knew it, she was passing Slu, her tree, and found herself on a path leading away from her home. It was a delightful day, with birds chirping and a light breeze playing in her hair. Trees were all around her, but there was a circle of pines that beckoned to her. She stepped inside, and soon the magical forest carried her imagination away. She found herself dancing with an imaginary Prince Hubert. She amused herself like this for hours. When her stomach growled, she realized how late it had grown. Isasnora stepped out from the trees and onto a path she thought led back to her home, but it did not. The sun dipped low, and in the growing darkness, Isasnora could not retrace her steps. She turned right when she should have turned left, and she turned left when she should have turned right. After walking for what felt like hours, tiredness crept over her, and she collapsed onto a soft bed of moss. Her eyes drooped shut, and she began to sleep. It seemed she had just closed her eyes when thunderous footsteps awakened her. Isasnora sat up. Was it Mongoose? She listened, but no, it was not her giant friend. Isasnora quickly scrambled behind a boulder. She peeked around it to see a 20-foot-tall, 7-foot-wide, cobalt blue dragon. His scales reminded her of the king's royal robes he wore during parades. Silver spikes fanned around the dragon's face like the sun's rays. He began to speak.
I knew you were out there.
Isasnora gasped. A blast of fire snaked out towards her. She jumped back.
What kind of creature are you?
A girl!
A human? Those are the worst.
He breathed out more fire. Isasnora crouched down as she watched several trees turn into ash. Satisfied, he spoke again.
Come out. I promise I won't hurt you. At least not immediately.
Isasnora crept out from the rock's protection.
Why, you're just a little girl. Where was that commotion coming from?
I was sleeping.
Sleeping? It sounded like a horde of monsters dancing. Why are you here in the forest Petiole?
We were banished to the forest because my snoring kept the Kingdom Kaland awake.
They should banish you from the forest too.
The dragon turned to crawl back into his abode, but suddenly swung back to face her.
You don't plan to sleep right outside my cave all night, do you?
I'm lost.
Lost? Why do humans misplace themselves? That's your problem. Good night.
Isasnora hiccuped as she sobbed. The dragon rolled his big glowing eyes as he turned to face her again.
Is this some trick?
The moon peeked through the dense trees and reflected off his shiny scales. Isasnora's wildest imaginations of dragons were not nearly as beautiful nor haughty as the creature looming above her.
I imagine my dragon to be friendly.
My dragon? My dragon?
The dragon stomped around Isasnora, terrifying the child.
I belong to no one!
Sorry. I had just hoped that the first dragon I met would be friendly. You are beautiful, however.
You think so? What were you and those ridiculous children doing the other day?
I told my cousins a dragon lived in the cave.
I suppose they wanted to kill me, like everyone else does. Being a dragon these days is rough. Thanks to St. George, no one likes us.
If you're capturing princesses and burning down villages, who would want you around?
Burn down princesses and capture villages?
No! I said they capture princesses and burn down villages.
Whatever. I'm tired. And no, most of us dragons do not do that. Sure, there are dragon games that terrorize humans, but most of us just want to live without a bunch of bratty kids harassing our caves.
Is that why you didn't come out the other day?
Dragons have to keep a low profile. Hello. Nom, nom, nom. Good night, and find somewhere else to sleep, if you don't mind.
Isasnora stood outside the cave, watching and wondering what she should do next. Should she try to go home? What if she met another unfriendly and dangerous creature? Besides, in the darkness, she was not sure she would find her way home. Isasnora knew, however, that this dragon would not appreciate her snoring outside his door. What does Isasnora decide to do? Stay tuned for next week's episode to find out. You may purchase the entire book of Isasnora Snores at Black Rose Writing, Barnes & Noble, and Amazon. I'm Elizabeth Power, your narrator. Thank you for listening. Cheers.